Hey Raider Nation, it's your boy, Raider Alex, back with another exciting video for you all. If you're new here and love all things Raiders, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's dive right into today's topic. Could Deion Sanders, also known as Primetime, and his son Shedeur Sanders actually make it to the NFL together? And could they possibly join the Las Vegas Raiders? This idea is buzzing all over the place, and it's starting to feel more real than just a dream. Recently, Deion Sanders was on a podcast with none other than Ice Cube, who proudly calls himself the president of Raider Nation. During their chat, the topic came up about whether Deion should let Shedeur take the leap into the NFL on his own, or if he should keep coaching him. Here's a little snippet of their conversation. Ice Cube asked Deion, "What would you do in my situation?" Deion replied, "I'd help him get to the next level any way I can." Ice Cube then encouraged him, saying, "Why not keep coaching him, especially if it's with the Raiders?" You could see the excitement in Deion's eyes when Ice Cube mentioned the Raiders. It's clear that the idea of coaching his son in the NFL is something he's seriously considering. Now, some folks think that if Deion does make the jump to the NFL, he might end up with the Dallas Cowboys. After all, he played there during their glory days, and we know Jerry Jones loves to make big moves. However, I have my doubts about that. Jerry Jones is a very hands-on owner, and he likes to control a lot of what happens with the team. Plus, with Mike McCarthy as the head coach, it often feels like Jerry is the one really calling the shots. So what do you think? Could we see Deion and Shedeur Sanders in silver and black? Let me know in the comments below. Now, I'm not so sure that Deion Sanders would want to take on the pressure of coaching the Cowboys, especially when he has full control at the University of Colorado. Moving to a situation where an owner is constantly watching his every move might not be appealing to him. That's why I think the Raiders could be a much better fit for both Deion and his son, Shedeur Sanders. But here's the big question. Would Deion really leave Colorado for the Las Vegas Raiders? And would the Raiders actually give him the chance to be the head coach? Just imagine the headlines if Deion and Shedeur teamed up in Las Vegas. It would be a blockbuster move, perfectly fitting the flashy vibe of the city. Mark Davis, the Raiders owner, has always loved making headlines since the team moved to Vegas, so this could be right up his alley. However, leaving Colorado isn't as simple as it might seem. Recently, the University of Colorado just landed a top recruit, quarterback Julian Lewis, who is ranked as the number 2 prospect by ESPN. This makes it tougher for Deion to walk away, especially since he's building something special in Boulder. Securing big-time players like Lewis shows that his program is gaining momentum, and leaving that behind could be a hard decision. At first, I thought if Shedeur, Travis Hunter, and Shiloh were all planning to leave, it might open the door for Deion to make a move. But with Colorado doing well this season and bringing in top recruits, things are looking up for him there. So let's focus on whether the Raiders would seriously consider bringing Deion on board. We all know that Mark Davis loves to stir things up in the media. Ever since the Raiders moved to Las Vegas, it feels like we're always in the news for some kind of rumor or trade speculation. What do you think? Could we see Deion Sanders making waves in silver and black? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The Raiders are always making headlines, and not always for the best reasons. But when it comes to media attention, they're definitely one of the most talked about teams in the league. Mark Davis, the owner, loves to make big, headline-grabbing decisions to keep the Raiders in the spotlight. Hiring someone like Deion Sanders would be a massive spectacle for both the Raiders and the NFL, creating a buzz that's hard to ignore. However, we also have to think about another big name in the mix, Tom Brady. As a new minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, Brady is expected to have a significant say in football operations. I doubt he'll just go for flashy moves without careful consideration. With Brady likely making the big decisions, we might see a shift toward more strategic choices rather than just chasing headlines. It's worth noting that Tom Brady has a personal relationship with Deion Sanders. They know each other well, and Brady has even worked with Shedeur Sanders during his time at HBCU. So if the opportunity arises, I wouldn't be surprised if Brady supported drafting Shedeur. But the real question is, would Brady back the idea of hiring Deion Sanders as head coach? Or would he prefer to keep someone like Antonio Pierce, or even look for a coach with a style similar to what he's used to with the Patriots, like Mike Vrabel or Bill Belichick? It's tough to say what Tom Brady would do in this situation. He's never been in a role like this before, and it's unclear how much he respects Deion Sanders as a coach. Sure, Deion is a Hall of Famer and has done great things in college football, but he doesn't have any NFL coaching experience. If the Raiders decide to move on from Antonio Pierce, who is also inexperienced, does it make sense to replace him with another coach who lacks NFL experience? Whether it's Deion Sanders or even up-and-coming coordinators like Ben Johnson or Bobby Slowick, they all come with their own set of challenges. Transitioning to a new head coach often means going through some growing pains, and that's something the Raiders will have to consider carefully. What do you think? Should the Raiders take a chance on Deion Sanders or look for someone with more NFL experience? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We're already seeing how things are going with Antonio Pierce, and it's definitely a tricky situation to navigate. Given how the season has unfolded, it feels like a tanking season for the Raiders. I can't see them winning more than 3 or 4 games at most. While I'd like to believe Antonio Pierce deserves another shot, Tom Brady's presence complicates things. It's hard to gauge how confident Brady feels about Pierce's abilities as a head coach. Even though the season might be winding down, there's still a lot at stake for the Raiders, especially when it comes to the head coach position. It's crucial to consider how the team is losing these games and how they finish the season. At the very least, the Raiders need to show competitiveness and fight in every game. They can't afford to have performances like the Jacksonville Jaguars did against the Detroit Lions last week, where they were completely dominated. This whole scenario is fascinating. There's no denying the excitement that a package deal with Deion and Shedeur Sanders would bring to the Raiders. From a media perspective, it would definitely hype up the fan base. However, I'm not convinced that this is the best move if the goal is to win now. I'm all for drafting Shedeur Sanders or bringing in a new quarterback, but I have my reservations about Deion Sanders as head coach. If you had asked me a week or two ago, I would have said this was a total pipe dream. While I still think it's a long shot, Deion's reaction and his willingness to entertain the idea suggests that it's something he's considering. The big question is whether this opportunity will arise for him in the offseason, or if the Raiders will give Antonio Pierce another year to turn things around. There are so many factors at play here. Deion's success at Colorado, his ability to land top recruits, Tom Brady's influence on decision-making, and the overall future of Antonio Pierce. The head coaching situation for the Raiders in 2025 is anything but clear. But one thing's for sure, the offseason is going to be filled with excitement, speculation, and rumors. If there's one thing the Raiders excel at, it's keeping fans on the edge of their seats, even if it hasn't always translated into wins. Hopefully, that can change soon. So, Raider Nation, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Should the Raiders consider Deion Sanders as a head coach or stick with Antonio Pierce? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There are growing speculations about the possibility of Deion Sanders joining the Las Vegas Raiders alongside his son, Shedeur Sanders. While Deion has expressed a strong commitment to Colorado, recent discussions suggest that he might consider an NFL return, especially if the opportunity arises to coach his son. Rumors are swirling in the Raider Nation about this potential pairing, and fans are eager to share their thoughts. Fan engagement. Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. Channel reminder. For those new to the channel, if you enjoy Raider-related content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Closing note. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next video.